Statue of Liberty may be one of the biggest presents in history. In 1886, France gave the United States a huge statue. It is a woman holding a torch high in the air. The torch is a symbol of freedom. The gift was given to remember the important friendship between the two countries. 100 years earlier, France had helped America in its war for freedom from Britain. A French sculptor was chosen to design the statue. It was a very difficult job because of its size. He decided to make her skin out of thin copper sheets. Then he would attach them to a metal frame. He asked an engineer to design and build the huge frame. That engineer's name was Gustave Eiffel. He would later build the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. The statue was too big to fit on a ship, so it was reduced to 350 pieces and taken to America in many separate boxes. The builders chose a small island in New York Harbor as the place to put the statue. The statue was a gift. However, the U.S. needed to build a base for her to stand on. People from all over America sent money to help build it. The base was finished in the spring of 1886. They began to put the pieces of the statue together. When the statue was finished, it was the tallest structure in America. She stands over 46 meters high. Just one of her fingers is 2.4 meters long. The statue faces the ocean to welcome ships as they sail into New York. Each year, thousands of visitors come to the island to see her. They can even climb the 354 steps up into her crown and look out the windows. She is a symbol of freedom for people all over the world. After all, it's in her name. The word liberty means freedom.
What do a bicycle, a chair, a house, and a t-shirt have in common? They can all be made using bamboo. Bamboo is one of the most amazing plants on earth. It has been used by humans for thousands of years. Bamboo may also be one of the most important plants of the future. Bamboo is very strong. It can be used in most of the same ways as wood. Many kinds of bamboo are actually harder than wood. People all over the world have built houses with bamboo. Bamboo has other uses as well. It makes strong and beautiful furniture. As the young bamboo plants grow, they can be formed into different shapes, like circles and even squares. Clothes made from bamboo are quite soft. They are also very good at stopping bad smells. Some companies are even making bicycles with bamboo instead of metal tubes. Even though bamboo looks like a tree, it's actually a kind of grass. It's related to plants like corn and rice. Bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants in the world. It can grow about 3 centimeters per hour. Trees take much longer to grow, of course. It takes 20 years or more for a tree to grow to a useful size. Bamboo reaches its useful size in only 3 to 7 years. Many bamboo plants can grow in the same time as one tree. This makes a bamboo farm more efficient than a tree farm. The population of the world grows every year. That means that there is more need for materials like wood. But the number of trees is limited. If people used bamboo instead, many trees could be saved. Scientists and inventors are working hard to find other uses for this amazing plant.
Okay, if you'd like to come over here to our next exhibit. Okay, so we're continuing to learn about the history of the home computer. Now, does anyone recognize this amazing machine? No? Well, anyone who grew up in Britain in the 1980s would immediately recognize this. It's the famous BBC microcomputer. You've all heard of the BBC, right? The British Broadcasting Corporation, or BBC, is Britain's national, state-run television and radio network.
So why did a TV station make a computer?
That's a really interesting story. It starts in the early 1980s. BBC television showed a program called The Mighty Micro, in which a professor, his name was Dr. Christopher Evans, he predicted the importance of the microcomputer, what we today just call the computer or the personal computer. Now, you have to remember that in 1980, there were no computers in homes, in schools, in libraries. Computers were big and expensive, so they still weren't something that a family or a student would go out and buy. But Dr. Evans made a prediction, a guess about the future. He predicted that computers were going to get smaller. Technology was making it possible to build a whole computer in a box that could fit on your desk. That's why the first home computers were called microcomputers. Micro meaning small. Okay, so Evans argued that the microcomputer was going to change everything and that Britain's children needed to learn how to use a computer in order to be prepared for the future. Now, it just so happened that a lot of important people watched that program, and Evans' predictions caught the attention of many people in Britain. In fact, even the British Parliament, the government, ended up discussing the program and Evans' predictions. So the BBC decided to start a new project to build a computer that was affordable, but that had lots of functions. Text, graphics, sound, music, programming, even artificial intelligence. The BBC planned to sell its microcomputer to homes and especially schools around the country.
So the BBC made the actual computer?
No, actually they didn't. The BBC was, and still is, in the business of making television and radio programs, not computers. So they wanted to find a computer company that could make the computer and put the BBC's name on it. In Cambridge, England, home to the famous old university, a small company called Acorn heard about the project. It just so happened that Acorn was already making its first computer, but it wasn't quite finished yet. The Acorn employees worked through the night and finished that first computer. It was called the Proton. They showed their brand new creation to the BBC and won the contract. It's really an amazing story of a small company beating all the bigger corporations. The first BBC computer, they called it the Model A, came out in 1981. And the Model B came out not too long afterward. And that's the computer you can see here, the BBC Model B microcomputer. The computer was an immediate success, mainly because schools in Britain bought many of them to teach computer skills to students.
Excuse me, what could you do with